nervous.
I mean, it's very slight. You know, when I said I like OGs, I like it just a little bit more. I don't like it like crazy amounts more. I think there's crazy amounts for outplays and stuff like that. I mean, I always have to look at Katomi. He's one of my favorite players in the last year and a half or so. He's been spectacular. His tree, as we said, prefaced it already, saying how good he's been on it. So, yeah, let's see what he's going to be able to get done on it to apply that pressure and slow down OG's draft.
If he can get on in there, make some action happen with that Dark Seer.
Because the other thing, if you look at, look at OG's tower push. It's pretty lackluster. They have 3 melee cores that don't really like to stand and hit towers, so that's where Katomi can just kind of thrive. And there's a Pango, too, so, you know, there's a lot of threat there that comes in from Entity to be able to constantly look for all these fights.
Down bottom, OG sent all of their heroes, and it was triple Quelling Blading down the forest.
We've seen this so much now from when they see 4 tree or when they see 5 tree.
Yeah.
You see both teams like contest whatever lane where the tree is going to be, and we usually see those weird 5v5 kind of battles coming out. So let's see how it goes. Ward's down.
It's gonna be fine. And already, it does look like Katomi taking the boots first. Throws out that Leech Seed up against Yuragi and forces him back. So anticipating pulling waves.
Yeah.
Is the thought here, it looks like.
Playing versus Undying and Bloodseeker, it is double melee, but the Undying's there to always make everything scary. As Kazu said, though, your heal does, of course, become more effective because you're lower HP when you get decayed up. So see how much they look to actually fight the lane. Of course, with Darkseer, you want to wait till you have like level 3 usually to be able to just straight up battle. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
Mid lane, BZM facing off against Stormstormer, and Stormstormer looking to have another similar, really good, impactful early game, I would imagine, in this one. Do you think that he needs to get as much done as we saw him on that Lesh in the last game?
I would like them to be very active on the side of Entity, yeah. I don't want them to be chilling back. I said the same thing last time, though, but they did have an Enigma, which always kind of changes things a lot, so
True.
I'd like them to be super active. With the Nature's Prophet, they have natural ways to take towers early on, so immediately we're already seeing Creep Pulse, Katomi. He's going to start it going.
Gets it over, blocks out that hard camp. So there aren't any side pull shenanigans, and Misha can only really chase him back while down in the lane, Toby is putting some pressure on with the Ion Shell. But they're going to be fine.
Toby's going to pull it all the way back.
This is
very
your favorite
exciting.
thing, right?
I love Creep Pulse. Taiga! Uh-oh! The level 1 glimpse. I think he's just going down.
Body blocks, and the Blightstone comes through to take down that Rubik.
Yeah.
So a quick one that direction, as Katomi trying to trade some hits there with Misha, has the Ion Shell on him already.
Oh yeah, I love the tree, Darkseer. You can't see the Ion Shell. Look, he's Ion Shelled, by the way.
Ah, it's good stuff.
It's behind him, though.
Oh, Toby.
Oh, Yuragi. I mean, that's... Got the last hit. And now Katomi's going to go grab the wave for himself. Yeah, this is...
Interesting.
Besides neutral items, that might be the thing that I hate the most at the moment. Creep pulling.
Dude, those are like the 2 things I like most in Dota right now. It's like, I don't have to lane, that's great.
Because you're an off laner.
Exactly, it's awesome.
No, I'm a hater. Hater of some things, for sure. Yeah, a lot of... top lane is probably... I mean, both of these side lanes are the volatile lanes where these kills can happen if somebody steps up too far. I think for the most part, it's just like, yeah, Taiga going to struggle to deal with these treants.
Yeah, it does need to make that space for DM here, because it's so much pressure with the Blightstone, and now just a gloves of haste for Watson. DM takes so much damage every time he steps up to the wave.
Yeah. I love Nature's Prophet, though. I love the early game. I like how we've been seeing it even more. You know, we saw it a lot during last tour, but it was more like Dahak. He was the one who kind of stabilized that carry Nature's Prophet, and now it's fully come back.
Yeah, the change up of it, and I mean, I guess it was it Liquid pretty much was the main team that was sort of starting to run at all this DPC tour too? Yeah,
they were the ones doing more off lane though, but they flexed it a decent amount. But yeah, I mean, this hero has clearly shown insane power, scaling, early game, etc. As Fishman now.
Drop it somewhat low. 2 points up there. And the shockwave early on for the Magnus is pretty scary, as Toby down bottom just gets clipped by the Blood Right.
It just hits him right on the edge of it.
Oh, and he had everything. He had Salve, he had Tangos. That one hurts.
I mean, sometimes it does catch you off guard. The Soul Rip and the Blood Rage, right, just ends up finishing him off there. And yeah, these 2 side lanes are going to be quite volatile. Apologies for that, making you look tough, Mr. Observer.
That happens. We didn't anticipate a kill there. No way. At least he comes back full HP and all the good stuff there.
He's got lane in a good spot, yeah.
Stormstormer made the move on down, picks up the bottle, and Well, we're going to see, of course, the lanes already looking pretty good, at least at the moment for Entity. You know, staying a little bit ahead there, just about even. It's mainly just the Darkseer that's a little bit behind after that death.
Which is expected. You know, that's why the Bloodseeker pick is there. Not only just to counter Pango in the game, but to counter that Darkseer in the laning phase, of course. But either way, yeah, Entity. 1K gold lead off of this start.
That's what you want to see from them. If they can keep this one up, well on the way to the major spot. And for OG, they have to win. Otherwise, they are not going to be going to the major, which would be pretty devastating for this roster here.
Yep.
As Toby tries to stand toe-to-toe against Yuragi, forces him back a bit.
Yeah, now the level 3 is out, so now Toby can actually play the lane a little more confidently versus this Bloodseeker and Undying. Just have to watch how they get double Katus top. Taiga!
Sprouted tries to get Fishman after, and a couple more punches from DM. Will it be enough? Yes. So they at least get a return kill that time.
Done. Does he fill the bottom mid now, perhaps? Might happen. Bottom. Boom.
They bring him down.
That Ion Shell. Big hits coming out from Katomi. Level 2 Leech Seed. Big power spike in this lane.
Set that level 3. Having the vacuum ready means you just keep double Ion Shell damage on him.
So bottle refill mid. They're actually not going to fill up Stormstormers. He's like, no, I'm good. It's all right. BZM.
Oh. Pops the Flame Guard, and Taiga there for the minus damage. Stormstormer in some trouble and going to get brought down. So whether a bait or intended, it's really nice for OG.
I guess maybe didn't see the fill up there coming in, but yeah, Taiga coming in perfect timing. A little over-aggressive there on Stormstorm. After he's having such a successful lane versus the Ember, too. DM now, some big damage. He's holding out the skill point. He'll pick up the skewer, so he's going to get away.
Getting close to those arcane boots, too. So they weren't able to punish after that rotation comes mid. And that means level 6 already done for BZM. Stormstormer still sitting at 5.
Taiga could be in some trouble. Another glimpse, actually. DM, can they get it? No, but they'll get Taiga.
And he's going to run off to the right, gets the lift, gets some separation, stun is there, but no tangos means he will go down again. So
the moment he dies, instantly buys a Quelling Blade. He's like, all right, I'm sick of that. Enough. Everyone's going to need those Quelling Blades, of course. As Rune almost gets snatched. Nice try there from BZM. Stormstormer finds himself a DD. He had some good luck finding some runes last game. He'll find this one. Bottom, Misha.
Onto him. The Ion Shell. Surge away! Oh, Yuragi's fast, though. It will get Misha.
He has to be careful, though. Level 5 already on Tobu. So, all things considered, pretty good there for the side entity. Again, though, Taiga.
This would be big if they can get him. The root, it's there. The connection. Stormstormer goes down, so enabling his Ember. Taiga goes down a couple of different times, but they make these plays happen. BZM right on top of Fishman. And Taiga picks up a kill with that Fade Bolt.
Nice moves, really, from Taiga. BZM now, gonna take some damage, but should be just fine versus this tree. Unless there's a TP that comes in from NP. Watson doesn't go for it. DM is now not playing the lane. If you see his positioning on the map, look at this Magnus. He actually cuts the creep wave behind the tier 2 and finds himself some nice bounty runes. So nice little play there. He knows that Taiga is helping out mid so much that he's just trying to avoid playing that lane matchup. So a cool little play from DM.
It does also mean that this Nature's Prophet is completely free to do whatever he wants. And Watson opting to queue up as we're keeping that eyes on that rotation and from the Pango. Not going to go for anything there. But opting for the Midas on the MP.
I'm cool with it. He's playing versus immense amount of greed. I usually don't like Midas, but I've seen, I've seen this work out for a lot of these players in the same thing, so. It's one of the few heroes I think I can allow Midas.
Okay.
But I'm okay with it.
Fair enough.
DM.
Glimpse. Pulls him back in. Got Tomy there. And does have the skewer to get up to the high ground. TP's away after punch from the low ground. Couldn't connect.
Nice
had
play.
to do the Leech Seed.
Really nicely done from DM. Thought the Wrath of Nature was going to come in perhaps to bounce on him, but Watson didn't end up throwing it out.
8 minutes in, still very even, and the laning stage winners are definitely Bloodseeker and that MP. And then, of course, BZM after the rotations mid is having a really good time playing together with Taiga. Remnant forward,
nice
tries to get it, but will be a deny.
Nice little play there from BZM, too, with the slight Remnant usage as Fishman. He's going to be a speedy Bloodseeker.
That's the TP back home.
Nice try, Misha.
Just thinking about that one.
Constant aggression coming out. And BZM having this type of a game is really important, as we've mentioned before. Pretty limited stuns to lock this Ember down. They're gonna have the, the Disruptor at some point with level 6, but Yeah, pretty limited actual forms of like normal lockdown. They only really have ults to control this Ember Spirit, be it Pang overall, Tree ult, or the Darkseeker, the Disruptor ultimate at some point. So yeah, BZM could explode this game open in the early game here.
Vacuum's kind of like an ult.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a little mini, it's a mini kind of stun that can definitely trip people up.
And pulling the Ember around out of the remnants too,
Yeah.
super annoying. But 6-5, and Stormstormer comes on over, refills the bottle. Watson still just wanting to farm up, not going for the Aghanims build, instead wanting to go for this faster farm. After queuing up and finishing the Midas, it's going to go in for the Maelstrom.
Yeah, I think standard for safe lane. I think off lane you rush the Agsnor. Then yeah, safe lane you want to go for your Gleipnir and stuff like that. Maybe even potentially just Mjolnir and stuff like that this game. I've seen a couple different variety builds. I think Gleipnir probably because they need some stuns, but there's some type of extra lockdown. I see stacks that's going to be scouted out, so I see some Treants going into the enemy triangle, taking notes of these stacks for the Ember, for the Bloodseeker, because there's a Magnus, so always going to be some stacks for the Empower. And he's actually going to block. It looks like he's going to block camps even with this Treant.
Yeah, there is a ward on it, so OG aware that this is happening.
Yeah.
As Toby farms up that hard camp too. Fishman trying to chase a couple people around here with Katomi nearby. Taiga moves in. Does have one of those steals. The damage coming out on the Stormstormer. He's going to get away for the moment, but a slight. BZM got him. And even dropping down that wall. But OG, they're all fine.
BZM popping off, and even getting another rune now, big one, an Arcane Rune. He's already got Javelin finished. This Ember, he's massive. Bloodseeker also kind of left alone on his own bottom. These are going to be incredible timings for the two cores of the side of OG.
Yeah, and in spite of all those deaths earlier, Taiga's been able to do a ton across the map as the highest net worth of the supports. Has Shield Crash level 3 stolen.
Yeah, even though he did get caught up top 2 or 3 times, he's able to make some big plays. As Yuragi, here comes the TP, the Wrath.
Down low, trying to live off of those creeps, but it's not going to happen. So Entity find the kill on that very strong Bloodseeker down bottom.
Trying to see how much damage that Wrath did. 360 or so coming out from that one. Watson gets an almost last take onto him, and now the tower. So they're punching back here.
Have the Vanguard completed for Darkseer, so we'll see what route he wants to go. You can do a ton of different things with this build, but will be very tanky.
Yeah, Lotus is very valuable this game too at some points, but always wants to get the Greaves first. Playing versus the Bloodseeker, playing versus the Chains, of course. So we probably will see that eventually, but so far, pretty even. OG coming slightly out ahead of the lanes.
Smoke up now, coming through bottom side, and Taiga is going to run right into Toby here with BZM nearby. Finds him, roots him, remnants on him. Toby vacuums, tries to escape, but the lift's there. Eventually, the Darkseer is going to fall in stolen vacuum.
Nice.
Only level 1.
Yeah, but look how active. I mean, Taiga instantly, he sees somebody top, he's like, let's go. They want to be able to thrive off of early kills because, as we mentioned before, their tower hitting ability is pretty lackluster, so getting these kills will allow them to eventually overwhelm and try to take towers. But Entity, are they going to just look to give this up once they get this information? They have this ward top that does see at least the Undying and stuff set up in the area. Good deny of the rune.
Yeah, that might have enabled all those things you were
He might
talking
die.
about there. Comes at a cost. Always Stack Storm. Oh, dropping it. Oh, he loses damage. He loses all the damage. BZM, he gets the slight in the remnant out. What?
No way.
Dude, oh, his vacuum was on cooldown for 15 seconds.
What a play from BZM. He just tanks through the whole Static Storm. The Flame Guard gets eaten, but he still gets the slight and gets away. Holy moly. BZM showing off. 5-0-2.
This is the start that, like you said, he needs. And, well, everybody, they rotated up top to make things happen. Can't really push that easily against Tree, but...
Well, this Ember playing versus what you said, like no stuns. He's just going to thrive so much, even eating a Static Storm. So far, looking hot for BZM.
Watson still very farmed on this Nature's Prophet. BZM heading up top now, with DM hanging on to mid. He's almost getting towards Greaves there. Be a big win for him, and now BZM knows no Static Storm. I'm fine.
Yeah, he's just in. Stormstormer's in the area, waiting.
Doesn't have Diffusal Blade yet. Rolls forward. Taiga, pull back. There is the glimpse. Not going to be enough. Fishman, he goes down.
Taiga.
Stormstormer bouncing back and forth, trying to make this happen. Katomi plays together with them. Misha now in no man's land. BZM's doing a lot with Yuragi showing up. This might be enough here.
There's the RP.
Moves in, finds the RP, 3 dead for 2. And now maybe they can find another. Yuragi, he has shown up and is ready to battle.
Whew. And that's level 4 in power on in both of these cores, so the damage that they commit through is insane. DM, nice play. OG, yeah, 2 supports and very good trade for them, just committing forward. And again, BZM showing off a little more, dodging the glimpse beautifully. Stays on top of this disruptor. 2K lead. They're actually the ones dictating the pace of this early game and perhaps going to be able to get a tower off of all these aggressive moves. And another power rune for BZM.
That is scary, right? Because you talked about how much it feels like Entity need to be playing fast in this game. I mean, obviously they have team fight later with like the vacuum and the Pango roll and all that, but I don't know.
It's all out of ults. That's the thing, right? They have to use their ultimates in order to try to get any of this control versus these heroes. And BZM queuing up a pretty cool item this game. If he's going to end up going for it, still to be determined. But, you know, he only really doesn't have to play versus stuns, so doesn't really want to go BKB perhaps. Just worried about Tree Root. So, yeah, it could be a pretty cool option to him if he wants to go down this route. Just give you some raw stats, of course, for this Empower to be even more powerful. Cool.
Dude. The sleight of fist and then all that physical damage coming out from Ember.
It's nuts.
It reminds me of the old physical Ember days,
Yep.
which is maybe another reason to go for the Manta, I guess, to
Yep.
some extent. Get some more stats.
Yep. Yuragi's hitting insane item timings too since he's been left alone. 5-1 this game. His BKB is going to be coming out pretty soon, so before these ults have even bothered him, he's already going to have so many ways to just pierce through him. OG off to an explosive start this game. 14-8. 14-8.
And you can see also they're still trying to do this thing with the NP of blocking out camps, and they were able to block those Ancients. But the big moves that are coming in, if the Ancients are blocked, that just means they're going to run at you.
Yeah. I mean, BZM, he still has his DD room that he picked up earlier, so he wants to utilize it. DM now, Greaves are done. Actually, before the Darkseer is able to, Darkseer does have a Vanguard in between, so similar kind of net worth. That's going to help more.
In a very good position to do it. Katomi's been able to keep this top tower alive, and mid also not really being under that much fire. So OG feel pretty comfortable, I guess, trying to just sort of farm up and get their items, do you think?
Farm and just take fights. Like we said, they can't hit buildings. They have triple melee. If they go to set up for these buildings, that's where you'll just give Entity the positioning to set up with the root, to set up with the Static Storm and stuff like that. So yeah, I think just chill back, finish up the BKB, and then you can look to take fights and take towers off after that as Toby.
Again, caught, and well, the mech is there, the heal is there, wall down. But Toby lifted? No. Gets away.
Whoop.
Just barely. That Vanguard, and Taiga says, no, I'm not letting you get out of there, buddy.
I mean, well worth it for Taiga again. Massive
Yeah.
TP rotations from Entity, and they only get a Rubik and still lose their Darkseer.
He gets 875 XP off that. Not bad.
Yeah, well worth it. Entity looking to punish off of this. Tower's being poked. Katomi's going to go heal it up. Can they find anything? Can they find this Bloodseeker Yuragi before his BKB comes? I don't think so. It's coming out on the courier already.
You get that one a little bit quicker. Misha, as he retreats out of the jungle, they are playing by a ward of entities, so they saw him head over this direction.
Will Katomi see that BKB? Will he save the root for it?
Breaking DMs, Blink Dagger, Static Storm down, but the BKB
The root,
already
though,
used.
it's up.
Now the run. They can maybe turn this, keep going for more if they want. Maybe can kill off Yuragi, tries to get out of there. Katomi right on top of him, and with the root, it's enough for the kill. DM, he does try and TP out of there. Do they have a way to break it? Doesn't look like it. BZM, he shows up. So now everybody kind of getting a little bit aggro. Not sure if they wanted to keep that fight going or not, but losing Yuragi with the BKB.
Great save there from Katomi. He just roots, then runs along him invis, waiting for the BKB to end, gets the secondary punch for the next root too. Yeah, we did say this is the one to be looking at constantly for Entity. Hitting towers, it's really hard for OG. Even with the BKB Bloodseeker, that actually sets up Entity to be able to get these kills because they go for it. These melee heroes definitely going to have concerns being able to set up for that push. And now, Gleipnir's done for Watson, so now they actually have an easier form of being able to lock down targets besides just having to utilize Static Storm or a tree ult, that is.
Stormstorm are able to take that regen rune in BZM, having to sit very frustratingly on low mana because of that Diffusal Blade build on the Pango. So annoying to play against.
Oh, and Watson finds himself a nice little Grove Bow, of course. It's going to be pretty much the perfect item for him this game for now.
out Specialist Array on the all melee core lineup. Love to see that one.
That gives good stats in this. Come on, 5, 10, come on. No,
I guess it's not.
Taiga!
Oh no.
He's caught off guard from this invis. He's dead.
Shield Crash keeps him a little bit more survivable, but yeah, in the end, he is going to go down.
Katomi.
Everywhere.
Soon to have a Blink Dagger also to be able to get this control. So yeah, BKBs, Mantas, etc. BZM ends up actually changing up the build. Does end up going for BKB anyway. Does have some concerns versus the Static Storm.
Understandable.
Yep. And he'll actually just queue Gleipnir. But Bloodseeker will likely just go for this Manta build. I thought it would have been cool, but I'm sure his team is telling him, you need a BKB just in case.
And DM is getting closer to that Blink Dagger too. You think about how different that fight might have looked if DM can just jump out and find that big RP. That's at the end of the day going to be so much of how OG want to try and play this. Like BZM goes in and makes some action, and then DM has to follow up, I guess.
Yeah, it's the way for them to get on Watson, right? That's the way for them to actually solve this Nature's Prophet issue. That could perhaps start to build up. So OG, double BKB timing.
Radiant scan, it connected. They know he's over here, dropping down the ward, finding the disruptor to start. He's dead. And it looks like now OG going to feel confident making the move to shut down this mid tower.
We'll turn it into more, though. Still a little hesitant, perhaps, to go into Roche, but they're maybe thinking about it. Scary versus the Pango and versus the Darkseer and everything like that. Tons of team fight. Jiragi.
Not able to connect with the silence there.
Was thinking about perhaps throwing Rupture, but didn't have follow-up. There's the blink, so double blink daggers on OG.
Toby runs away from BZM and going into an item that we've seen a couple of times now with the Crimson Guard.
Cool. It is an overwhelming amount of physical damage from Bloodseeker and Ember, so it could be nice. Fishman just getting bullied by BZM.
Stormstormer shows up to try and turn this.
Okay, this one's down.
I don't know if this is going to work too well for them fighting into this area. Toby tries to get away. Smoke, they want to chase this. They're looking for a fight. The Mag Blink online, they can find that route and then get the pullback potentially. Is there enough? As Taiga, Jiragi make the move over. They find him, DM, off to the side, caught, and Toby killed. So they do bring down one, and now looking for some more, fighting underneath that tier 2 tower, Jiragi. BKB
Jiragi!
He doesn't have anywhere left to go. The jump in, they try and keep him alive, but it's not going to happen.
He goes way too far.
Oh, man.
And now Misha, maybe.
Yeah, with that illusion chasing him, right on him, Misha in trouble, and well, Taiga just has to blink away.
Yep, gets brought down from the long-range swash. Can't underestimate how much damage this Nature's Prophet's able to do, as now Taiga also gets grabbed.
The Gleipnir.
That's a big death from Jiragi. He overcommits way too hard to try to punish this Pango, and he gets punished himself. Cuts the tree, but there's too many trees for him to cut down.
Just like that, I mean, you get a big swing around, and this is all that this entity draft needs.
They have such an easier way to be able to take towers off of any of these small kills, and they have ults still available. Tree ult's up, Pango ult's up, Disruptor ult's up. They'll back up, keep the farm going, but a big window really found for them.
And a Blink Dagger now done for Stormstormer.
Easier ways to get in and control the fights.
This is starting to look like the swing that they might want. I mean, obviously OG's lineup, scales into infinity, it feels like almost.
For sure.
But you give up a couple more kills like that, particularly Jiragi diving deep, and it will be a pretty heavy punish.
BZM's still going to go Manta, so they're still going to get the double dispels versus Tree. Cool. But yeah, definitely signs there for Entity to be able to get this crazy type of scaling. Is Watson, level 16, and Stormstormer actually, he's keeping up in levels with the Nature's Prophet and with the Ember Spirits. Like, Stormstormer, even though he's got 4 deaths, he is keeping very farmed on this Pango this game.
Yeah, having a really good one there.
Yeah.
And if you can get to that Lincoln Sphere, keep him alive against the really frustrating to play against Bloodseeker Rupture, could be good, but he stole it and blinks away. He got it covered.
Well, he
stole it too early, I guess.
Yeah, he stole it right before he finished. Fast blink out there from Taiga, though. Keeps him alive.
Yeah, Blink Dagger done. He's having a pretty good one. Needs to keep up with Katomi, definitely, who has the Blink Dagger done and going into the Refresher next.
The build that we saw him do the other day. Yeah. He got it at record timing, it felt like. He's also level 14 on Tree. I mean, looking at the support levels.
That's crazy.
It's level 12 and 10 on the opposing sides on OG. Level 14 Tree.
I mean, it's level 13 Darkseer. Like, what the hell?
He took tomes. He took tomes.
He takes all the tomes.
But my God, I mean, he's earned the right to take these tomes after his performance on Tree in these last few days.
Crimson Guard done.
Okay. Maybe see this protect these squishier backline heroes pretty nicely for his team. And level 13, so max now on both Surge and Vacuum for these big team fights. Fishman.
Hanging out around that area. It definitely has that sort of stalled out feel that we've seen before, as they will pull him back in. I don't know if they have enough to bring down DM with the Gleipnir there. Tries to get away. Skewer back fine. And
Stormstormer.
He's in some trouble there, buddy. Doesn't have anywhere left to go. Dies to the Rupture. Yeah, that's why he wants the Lincolns.
I don't know. Something canceled his blink on the initial go. I didn't get to actually see right at the start because I thought he was going to get the chain stun onto DM, but ends up shield crashing instead of blinking on top of him, and DM's able to walk away. And now Roche opened up.
Yeah, a little bit of a miscue there. And, I mean, when you've got Greaves to take off the Gleipnir, it's pretty big. OG walk right into the pit now.
It's gone.
You're going to take this one out. Katomi throws down the grasp, but it won't matter. Yuragi gets the Aegis.
Entity gets a little too overzealous with going for this kill onto the tanky mag and get turned on themselves.
So Aegis in hand now. OG building up this lead. The dreams of the infinite tiebreakers continue.
Yep, and Manta's now finished for BZM, level 18. So now he's very survivable, has multiple ways to play around these roots and disables. Same thing with, I believe, the Bloodseeker also has BKB Manta done.
Yeah, going into the Shard too to maybe try and break some of those blinks.
Yep.
Be very nice.
I love this Shard. I think this is still underpurchased some of the times. I think you can utilize it and just make so much happen if you're able to just get these. When you have these squishy backliners that you know you can just disintegrate, you just immediately get this Remnant back up after you do it that you can just commit inside of fights really nicely. So I actually like this option. As we've seen, Fishman just die for like 2 of these lights, so he'll just regenerate that Shard. Or those charges of Fire Remnant.
Right.
And they get the tower now. So 2 towers taken out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
OG dropped down the sentry.
Cover the area of Katomi.
How much do they want to get done here? It feels like maybe another one of those where they could play it a little bit more passively, but after the kill, potentially feeling more emboldened. Oh, Misha, he's always in front.
He's ready to tank those spells. Yeah, they're getting good scaling. 3K lead.
You see Yuragi there now. Fishman jumps in, finds Misha, drops it down. No, he's caught for the moment. And Stormstormer again gonna be ruptured. Again, gonna get RP'd. Whoa, he got back base though.
He TP'd during the roll.
Oh, the RP coming out a second too late.
Yeah, it didn't quite catch him. DM couldn't get into the exact range of it. But either way, we'll get both supports.
And BZM will get chase back. Maybe? No, he gets away.
Maybe they won't. Okay.
All right, Fishman livid.
Okay. He's looking pretty dead, but gets protected from his buddy Toby.
Interesting.
RP was used though, Rupture as well. So let's see if Entity looks to try to make a move with that. Seeing poor Stormstormer every time he tries to jump in, just instant Rupture every single time. So yeah, really needs some type of Lotus / Lincoln's coverage for him.
Yeah, Lotus would be big. And at least for now, the Darkseer still opting to just go the sort of mass team fight defensive builds, has the, pipe on the way now, as well as the Greaves and the Crimson Guard as Fishman chases, but can't quite get there onto DM.
I'm actually quite curious of him just committing also for pipe.
Yeah.
There's not really, I mean, there's some magic damage, but yeah, it doesn't feel like it's like the more priority compared to something like Blink or Lotus for him. So I'm curious. I guess Toby, yeah, it's all just about team fight, but could end up hurting them in the long run.
Drops the Tombstone up on the high ground, and they move in with 2. Find that kill. Fishman has died many times this game.
8-0 and 8 BZM. Killing it.
Oh, they kill a courier with the Lincolns on it.
Okay. That's a pretty big one.
Well, the recipe at least.
Yeah. Either way, though, BZM, he gets these kills and just replenishes his Fire Remnant immediately every single time. So still looking to continue this dominance of the map. Entity perhaps feeling the pressure.
Yeah, obviously not wanting to fight into this Aegis, but the last couple of minutes, it's very much been Entity only trying to find like that solo pickoff or maybe start a fight with Static Storm, what have you. and then just dodge. And it's led to a lot of deaths on these supports.
Yeah, they're feeling quite on the back foot in this moment, at least. Not having this type of easy control, have to commit so much into the fights to ever take anything. Well, OG, they just... BZM just walks in and kills people, just with some slight remnants and stuff like that, so... OG in a pretty comfortable spot right now, 4K lead, and looking to keep this advantage going. They buy a gem, Taiga picks it up, they're looking to close out the map, take out all these wards, always keep track of where Katomi is.
They're going to have to be careful here, too. You've got Ember level 20, so the sleight of fist damage
hurts.
Taiga also has Glimpse level 4 stolen.
It's big. And BZM gets Cloak of Flames, too, so he's just going to be mowing people down then when he runs next to them. Flame Guard talent plus that, these supports are going to die in seconds.
Already
have been, too, it feels like.
It's definitely going to hurt.
Well, dodging away, wards just out of vision of each other. I think that actually those Radiant ones spot the Dire ones, so Misha comes in for the D ward. And 29 minutes in, the lead slowly being built up by OG as they take over more and more of the map. And Entity needing to hold on. This is what we saw from them in the last series against Tundra at various points.
Yeah, they don't have the Enigma factor though, right? So definitely going to be a little harder for them to deal with this hard scaling lineup of OG with the double empowered melee cores. Soon Lincoln's on Stormstormer, so perhaps waiting for his courier to respawn before they look to really commit into a fight. Because otherwise, yeah, he just gets ruptured every time. Also, he gets lucky, so Mindbreaker is picked up for Stormstormer, a big one. The other massive neutral items that we do see. Blaster Rig actually for Toby too, so much tankier now on him as well.
Yeah. He is just like all the big AoE heal funness for his teams, and then a little bit extra armor there too. AC done for the NP.
All physical damage, it feels like, on the side of OG for the most part. That's why I'm just like, the pipe for me is a little weird from Toby. I mean, maybe we'll do some type of like crazy saving type of thing, but I think it is going to hurt them not having a Lotus in these next few moments to try to protect the Pango as well. Or just to reflect it onto the Bloodseeker and stuff. So yeah, we'll see. Katomi has been farming like a beast, though. We did not say, but I mean, people saw it because we clicked on a bunch. Philly Stone, but he's getting close to his refresher, too. So they do have the double Dispels, and perhaps more Dispels once more neutral items come out on the side of OG, but could be another thing to turn the tides of fights. And I think there's the Lincolns for Stormstormer.
So if we think back to how the previous like 2 or 3 fights have gone, and Stormstormer looks like he's going to get just about level 20 here. It has been Rupture on Topanga over and over and over. That is no longer going to happen as easily, but there's still a lot of ways to break it.
Absolutely. They have just the Rubik steal from distance. He has Glimpse still if they take a fight in the next few moments. Level 20 on Watson, so Sprout Leash is also available now. So eyes on Ember in particular if he gets locked down in fights. Do they have any... Okay, they have Shard on Rubik. So they do have the Shard on Rubik to at least bail him out of that, and they have a couple of these Calling Blades.
I'm gonna lie, Taiga feels like a pretty high priority kill.
He does, absolutely. He's had a very good game after... Even with his deaths, just his TP rotations is...
High priority kill is right under vision soon. Katomi drops it down. Stormstormer there rooted. Does 2 into the Shard, the ball, and backs away.
Scared to commit all the way in.
Yeah, that was a spooky moment there for Taiga. Obviously had his own vision, but as soon as they dropped down the ward, could have gotten jumped.
Katomi switches it up for now, if he does actually want to switch this build. So wanting a easier way to commit, not wanting to use an ult every single time for kills. Hex, if he's able to get it, could be huge versus Ember.
BKB done for Mag. Yeah, the Ember shutdown there would be really clutch.
Yeah.
And obviously a good answer against the BKB that he's got too.
They have good split push going up top, forcing reaction from OG.
TM moves on in, spams out the wave, and Roche capable of respawning in 22 seconds here. But Entity just kind of holding on to this side of the map.
A bit scared of their triangle at the moment versus OG.
Dire's middle tower.
That means they're slowly getting more farm.
He's in.
Finds one. Taiga lift, chase down. Okay,
RP.
they're onto one. The RP
on
isn't good enough. Doesn't quite look like it. The overgrowth, the turnaround. Taiga's still under fire, getting punched here. Toby right on him. Will drop down the wall onto Yuragi.
Yuragi's low.
He has to get out of there. Has to run. Leashed. He doesn't have a way out. He tries to cut his way through and does manage to escape. So they bring down the Disruptor and now trying to run him back into it. That's more than enough. DM in a ton of trouble. He too is going to go down. The vacuum to try and turn it, but That is all cores except for BZM
Taiga.
dead, and Taiga goes down too.
What a disaster for OG. DM Blink RP's the solo disruptor. I mean, Fishman will take that all day. He's 1-9-11 this game, but his deaths have been so value. Watson comes in, gets the cleanup. I think Yuragi's BKB comes out late, and he just is so low HP that by that point they can actually commit on him. Uh-oh, things have crumbled quickly for OG.
Yeah, a really weird connection of abilities being used there, and DM thinks he could find somebody. It's not good enough. Watson just punches.
Yeah.
He just stands there and starts hitting people. The Wrath of Nature, it's huge.
And OG, they're the ones with the buyback on Taiga, and he just dies. They put the Static Storm, like you said, high commitment onto the Rubik. They commit Static Storm on him. And yet, Entity maybe blown the game open here. A huge fight for them. Watson now with the full Daedalus off of that one. That was, I mean, OG just completely crumbled with the way that they took the fight with the RP following.
It was one of those moments where it feels like if the fight's not going perfectly, it needs to kind of be a couple of those clutch combos, right? You need to get the Rupture on the Pango. You need to try and find that RP onto at least a core.
Yeah, Stormstormer, he's the one to start the fight with this Rolling Thunder, and I think, like you said, Yuragi with a little bit of a late BKB, he's already like 30% HP when he pops it, and now, I mean, Katomi decides, screw it, I'm just going to buy the full refresher. So now it's 2 roots, level 18, that he's got available in these fights too. The control is going to be pretty absurd.
So RP is up.
Okay, they have to get a bigger target than just a disruptor.
Looking for somebody. BZM walks up high ground, smoke is broken, sees one of those treants and drops down the Static Storm onto the Undying. Taiga tries to separate them. They find Fishman, able to connect onto him. They have Overgrowth
Watson's
ready.
in.
He's doing a good chunk of damage to him. Control and kill onto Stormstormer. Watson has to TP out, so that is the fight they were hoping for. Now Toby hoping to escape, but Yuragi right on top of him, pulls him back in, and the chase down for the finish. Katomi trying to do everything here, but he's just going to end up getting himself killed. They can't get there in time with the rest of them.
I think he got confused from the buyback. Stormstormer buys back but has no TP.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Okay, okay, OG. Back the other way quickly. Find themselves the targets.
I mean, this is the moment where you can feel that pressure, the tension on the game. So many decisions that need to be made in an instant, and now with Roche respawning, you don't have all of those key teamfight heroes on Entity for another 30 seconds.
Yeah, this time they're able to actually get out to Stormstormer perfectly. I think they broke his Lincolns with something, if I'm not mistaken, and then Yuragi just blinks onto him when he's focusing Taiga, and he just gets killed. So yeah, Lincoln's is broken by Spell Steal, and then immediately Yuragi blink BKBs on him, and they RP the Pango. So this time they take control of it, and Watson, he TPs out. Pango dies. Pango buys back, has no TP to come back in the fight, and Entity is this time the one with a bit of a disaster in their own fight, as Aegis and Shard is going to go the way of OG. And is that a...
Yes, it is.
It's a Battle Fury on BZM, so he's like, screw this Sprout. I don't need my teammates. All right, cool.
He's like, I'm keeping the Quelling Blade for forever. Let's upgrade it. Why not?
Sure, yeah.
Dude, with all of those summons coming out,
he'll be double dipping, you know, with the cleave talent, or with the cleave coming from the Magnus as well too. All right, cool.
He went for the slight damage. I mean, he is ready to go, and then he's looking forward to 25.
Double slight with Daedalus going to be coming online. You said it earlier, right? You missed that physical ember. Looks like we're going to get that. He is 11-0-10, so BZM still having a hell of a game.
Dude, he almost one-shots these treants.
Yeah.
That is some scary stuff. Most damage in the game right now, almost 30k, and has that crit coming out to him on top of the Gleipnir.
Abyssal now also for Yuragi on top of his blink, so sure, you've got Lincolns to protect yourself, and now you've wasted buyback on Stormstormer, and they have multiple solutions perhaps for the Lincolns. He'll build his own Lotus to try to protect himself, but OG found a huge fight there.
And I mean, this tower down bottom is going to go down, it looks like, to the double catapults. Pretty close. Yeah, they'll find it. But the thing that I said 25 Ember, I didn't realize how close he is. He's actually almost there.
Yeah, he's 24.
I mean, so we've seen, what, the RP onto 1, but there is also a good chance that if they find 2 or 3 heroes nearby, they're just going to explode to that Ember.
Yep, there it is. 2 slights. And he's got the small crit. He's got Arcane Rune too for the next fight. If he hits, it feels like if he hits like a 2-man RP, they're going to be good. Entity, they have to be careful with themselves now how they do utilize these ults. OG messes up one fight, swings one way. Entity messes up another one, swings back the other way, and in a bigger way because it was around Roche. And oh, look at top rune. On top of an Arcane Rune, on top of 25.
Ooh. You guys ready for the BZM show?
Oh, I mean, it's already been the BZM show. Now it's going to be the one-shot show.
This is a scary moment for everybody that's on Team Entity.
He's dancing. Look at him taunting.
He's ready. Yuragi there too. I mean, that's the other thing that's crazy about this, right? Is even if they do manage to take out BZM, you still have to deal with this Bloodseeker. Here they go, walking up to high ground. OG feeling confident. 2.5 minutes left on this Aegis. Tomi throws it out, but look at the damage onto the tower.
Oh, this is scary. These slights are going to rip the supports apart. I mean, Fishman might just get one shot if he's next to Treants.
He has to be careful. The trees get just obliterated. Yeah, it's not stopping him. It only makes him stronger. Don't summon those anymore, Watson. Does get the leash, but Battle Furies takes it down.
And here comes Daedalus.
It's on the way. It's there for a moment. Static Storm down. He's fine for the moment. The leash is there. As BKB waiting for it, they're controlling him this whole time, but BZM walks back in, finds Watson, starts sliding him down to death. Second wall stolen, the turnaround. Do they have enough damage? Watson right on top of him, rooted, but there's the save. The RP comes out. That is going to be a kill onto Watson as BZM remnants forward, remnants away. Goes back through, does some good damage. The glimpse pulls back Yuragi. He turns now, starts to beat down the tree. Can he get the heal off of it afterwards? Doesn't look like it. So that's Aegis down. And no mag, no Taiga. Can he get out of here?
I think they might have to just ditch him here.
Yeah, he's left completely alone, and he's just going to get dropped. So OG going high ground step a bit too far. It did cost a buyback from the NP.
Exactly. That's the big thing that they got out of it. Watson is still pretty fragile. They were on top of him the whole time there, so does force the buyback. OG, still pretty good for them there, even though they don't get the racks, but Watson is able to hold on.
And even with that AC, it's just not enough to keep him alive against this.
He needs the Satanic. Paladin Sword's not quite enough for him to stand toe-to-toe versus Bloodseeker.
And, well, they found a Pentedge sword, because why not?
Yep, but now they have 50 seconds. Bloodseeker's still dead. Can they find anything out of it? BZM shows himself.
Root. Not doing a ton of damage there to Toby, actually.
Oh, Blast Rig. Still has quite a lot of armor on this Darkseer.
Yeah.
But yeah, still a scary moment, really, for Entity. Even though the Bloodseeker's dead, not having buyback on either your Pango or your Nature's Prophet, if either one of these get picked off, it could just determine the game.
I guess the thing that I'm wondering about, I mean, one is that we do have the Treant level 20 living armor or bonus armor, which is really helpful. But when I look at this net worth, you've got the Ember, you've got the Bloodseeker so far up, and then it's the Nature's Prophet there. Do you think that, like, how good of a game Katomi is having, if he can, like, sort of save out for 25, that it could change things?
Perhaps. I mean, I always say this is, for me, one of the most, if not the most broken talents. It's still a ways away, though, so it's asking a lot for them to delay. Because OG, with these next few moments, without Entity having these buybacks, they might be able to just wait, play for the next fight, wait for this next Roshan and stuff like that, and then look to control for the next fight. So we'll see if Katomi's able to get there, perhaps.
Okay.
That could be that game changer. But IOG, yeah, they're going to keep kicking up the pace, keep looking for these fights with their strength right now.
And keeping that Cloak of Flames for the moment, you can see win probability
like
very even. Could depend a lot upon how these engagements go. Entity, they don't want to leave their base.
No. Pango, 1 minute left for buyback.
Chilling mega hard. But OG, they take over this side of the map too. There is a good ward over here, which, you know, scouts out where OG would be if they were out of the smoke. Manta Illusions get sent out.
Okay, Trickster Cloak now also perhaps for BZM if he wants to hang on to it. So more survivability. Yeah, he's going to swap it in. Other big items. Like you said, the Penta before.
Yeah.
So two pretty big neutral items for the side of OG.
I was wondering if they were going to try and put that onto BZM for just more damage, but the Trickster makes more sense, I guess.
Yeah, I think just him having a little more survivability. He already does enough.
Yeah.
His damage is already almost at its peak. I think they also, okay, they did also get Telescope for Taiga, so that's also quite impactful for the Rubik.
BZM hunting. Ooh.
Hello.
God. That is a scary moment right there. Well, we talked about the Hex on the tree earlier. If he has that with Refresher,
Yep, could be another big element of them being able to control.
it's crazy how farmed he's been able to be.
And it's
Yeah.
Philly.
True.
As how's the buyback looking? Does he have enough for Basher and buyback on Stormer? He's very close to having both.
You can tell just how important these Aegises are right now, too. Is you know, Stormer obviously needs to be in there to be able to come and contest for the Aegis, but they're just sitting in that area even a full minute before Roche is capable of respawning.
I mean, you can feel the tension in this, how important this game is, right? It's like both teams being very careful how they overcommit. 27-25 still feels like anybody's game here.
Misha, first one forward, DM, skewers.
He is deep.
What just, I mean, he's kind of okay for the moment, but he's in very far. Has the Greaves, gets two of them.
Big one.
Can they bring him down after
Watson
the
also.
damage, the cleave? It's not looking like it's quite enough yet, but Toby down low, drops that wall. Yuragi still leashed inside of it, but there is the turn, the save. The vacuum pulls it back in. Katomi low, everybody dying.
Watson.
It is only NP left. Stormer trying to get back into this and help him out, but does he have enough? Watson triple kill,
Watson.
trying to find it. The leash is there, but the jump in, Yuragi finds him. DM comes in at the last second after that buyback. Taiga moves into position, tries to steal, breaks it from Stormer for the moment. Yuragi low. BZM shows back up with the Gleipnir. Everybody in some trouble. The wall runs out, and Yuragi, Taiga in no man's land. They don't want to run back in. The vacuum is there, but it is going to be a kill on the Rubik.
Well worth. Taiga gives his life for Yuragi. Yuragi gets out with like 200 HP. Holy crap, that was so close to him diebacking. Watson just holds his ground during the majority of it. Heavy buybacks from Entity to survive it, but somehow Yuragi ends up surviving the second time. And BZM still a total beast. Doesn't die again. 14-0 and 13. Like,
Yeah.
they're just standing toe-to-toe. Both of them just wailing on each other the whole duration of the fight.
They somehow managed to get a good RP out of this, which is crazy.
I think Taiga's little steal here, also on the vacuum, messes things up, because you're going to see Katomi jump in and try to get this root, follow up, and then he gets vacuumed and canceled for a second, which could have been a little bit of a difference maker right there. So he ends up actually getting that root a second later, which perhaps actually allows a couple of these heroes to survive, like BZM, who kills off the tree and then survives the whole fight.
Yeah, I think if BZM might have even slight dodged because of that second that was there. What a huge fight, and those couple of seconds making the difference.
And I mean, Yuragi, right? Like, he's so close to diebacking right there, but they just, somehow save him because of Taiga, like, running in, giving up his life, getting that force staff to disconnect it.
Exactly what they needed from him, and now we know that Roche is going to be back up again. 40 seconds away.
How's the buyback situations looking to Watson? He's got about a minute left on it. Yuragi's going to be 6 minutes. BZM always has his available, as he's just a total beast this game. Level 28, Aghanim's Blessing soon to be coming.
He's had an unbelievable game.
This is one of the best Ember performances I think I've ever seen.
He's done everything for him and a bit more.
Yeah. Still feels like it can go either way because these buyback situations, Stormer having to use his as well as that, the Toby, but on the other side, Yuragi, of course. So gonna have to be eyes on who gets grabbed. And Watson's able to hold his ground pretty decently versus what, 2 of these melee empowered cores beating on him. And now good vision. That's the big thing that Entity's been able to get in these last few moments. Katomi, he snuck in and he got this ward on the high ground. So it watches the ancient area and it's watching over here. OG
doesn't quite get the vision into the pit though.
Oh, they might get away with this.
This is big. It was a relatively quick respawn. And yeah, Entity not in position to come and contest that, so
oh, that's huge.
That is what they needed.
Yeah, Yuragi now has that little bit of a comfort there. Without the buyback, he has the Aegis at least to cover him. And now, good God, BZM, Aghanims is coming, and he's got a Refresher shard, so crazy remnants, crazy slides, he might just kill everybody himself.
I mean, I kind of wonder, it looks like he's giving it over to Bloods. I mean, they could give it whoever they want. There's so many great heroes, like DM even, you know? I'm
just wondering if the Bloodseeker even has enough mana for all of it. With quad ruptures, I don't think he does, actually. I guess in the second life, when he swaps it in, he'll have the second. He can actually pop BKB with the first Aegis.
Oh, yeah.
Swap in the Refresher and then have BKB and all of his spells again. So, okay, cool. They have a lot of options for it, of course.
Well, big moments also coming up for Entity as we see queuing up the Aghanim Scepter for Fishmen.
Okay, the dream. They've given him, they're like, okay, you take the Philly now. The Philosopher's Stone is yours. Get us an Aghanims. That's our hope.
But will it come quick enough? I mean, OG off of this Aegis, you got to imagine they want to get some type of structural damage done. Now, a scary thing here, Watson just bottled up a DD, and OG are likely not going to know about this.
Okay, yeah, that could be huge. He was able to stand his ground pretty nicely without it, and now also, we got a normal punch. So Toby also has a way to control and get his own illusion as one of these two beefy cores.
DM tried to go for a horn toss play.
Base starting to get sieged a little bit too. Watson might look to start getting some extra split push, but they have Ember, so they always have the answer.
He's going to push out these lanes, ready to join back with his team at a moment's notice. And going for just a refresher himself too, because why not? Watson moving around and farming up where he needs to. Does find the Undying, and well, TP's out before DM can get into position.
Might lose their ward because of that though. Yeah, they will. So Katomi's sneaky ward from earlier is going to be killed because of him hitting the courier like that.
12k gold lead. And again, for OG, I mean, you can't feel comfortable at this point. It could all go wrong in a moment. An NP will take your base, and then they're not going to the major. For Entity, all they need to do is make it happen, pull it together. A couple big team fights to try and turn this.
BKB Rubik now also. I mean, Taiga continue to get this Philosopher's Stone on both sides, right? You know,
yeah.
These supports, it's the dream.
It's not bad, not bad.
Yep. And Katomi, I believe he's going to take that next home immediately. So getting closer and closer to his 25, which could just be game breaking. Could just literally win them the game, win them those team fights because he's just controlling them for 10 seconds. So yeah, still lots of things to be staring out for, even though there's that 13k lead.
Watson, the DD is going to look like run out here unless the fight happens in the next couple of minutes. But I think that this is going to be OG trying to just keep the pressure on in terms of their farming across the map, throwing out those treants on Entity to get vision.
They're terrified right now on the side of Entity to step out versus Aegis. 2 minutes left on those buybacks for 6 heroes.
Getting closer. 300 gold away from Disruptor Aghanims.
300 for Disruptor Ags, couple hundred for the tree Hex, and 2 levels for the tree, level 25 as well. Big ones to look out for.
I mean, I know it's hard to push against this like high ground defense that they have on Entity, and OG's heroes just don't push well in general. But I mean, it feels like they're going to be able to wait them out, and I don't know how these fights look different once those big items do come out.
It's just too scary with melees, right?
Yeah.
3 melee cores hitting buildings. It just could get turned on really quick. So yeah, they're being very careful here. Watson will keep the split push going. This is so scary for him to do stuff like this, though. He has the TP almost instantly. Can't finish off creep waves.
Yeah.
Because they immediately start setting up for him. DM immediately to port over.
Might even trying to set up some traps for him eventually here.
Wonder if DM maybe does opt to go for just like a refresher himself also, instead of going for this Lotus.
Yeah.
Then they had just overwhelming control for this NP, even through BKB. We'll see.
A lot of question marks still there.
But OG still having a good amount of strength here. 40 seconds left on the Aegis, trying to catch something.
They're going to smoke now.
Okay, who do they find? Toby. 40 seconds left on these buybacks as well. It's kind of in sync with the Aegis.
EZM spots one. There's the lift. Pulls him back. Stormstormer, he's in trouble. In no man's land. Going to get caught, going to get killed.
No
Stolen
buyback.
wall. That is exactly what they needed. OG, they take down that Pango. Has no way to get back into this one.
Really nice play. Walking up sneaky, smoked on the high ground. 10 seconds for buyback, but they'll get a Rax out of it.
Watson trying to do as much split push as possible in that time frame. And Yuragi, DM, they're all moving towards mid. Fishman's there. He has the Aghanim Scepter, can catch on a bunch of these heroes. They need to wait for that buyback to come back offline. He is smoked around at kind of the perfect position. They pull him in, able to find Yuragi. Can they kill him out? No! Taiga pulls him out of there, and every bit of that 4,200 gold is wasted. BZM, they have the refresh button. He's stuck for the moment, pulls him back, finds him again. That is a dieback for Stormstormer. OG might have just punched their tickets here to keep this tiebreakers rolling as they find Watson, try and get him. The Overgrowth is there. Stolen Overgrowth, though, now catches onto Watson. He's in trouble. A dieback almost there. Can they kill him off in time? Watson, the punch, the normal punch. Yuragi turns, a couple more hits, and the Nature's Prophet is dead. Now finding Toby. He's trying to get out of there too. Taiga is in mega deep at the moment. Steals the Leech Seed, still buying time for himself. But eventually, Watson with the lift, the chase, does he have friends coming on over?
Taiga.
Taiga hides off in the trees. He keeps himself alive. Silence is there, but pulls back Watson. That's the dieback that they were waiting for. They eventually killed Taiga, but GG is called. We got an infinite, potentially.
Run it back, baby! What a play. I mean, OG, BZM, 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 BZM. I mean, what a performance. He didn't die. 16, 0 and 18. A flawless performance from him, and Taiga coming in clutch at the end. Don't know if the statics...